plays the World War II codebreaker Alan Turing in the film Imitation Game, has signed an open letter calling on the government to pardon almost 50,000 men who were prosecuted for being gay.
Turing took his own life after he was convicted of indecency in the 1950s. He was pardoned in 2013. Up to 15,000 men who are still alive could have the charge wiped from their records if the campaign wins government support.
Tommy Dickinson is from the University of Manchester, has written a book about the sort of aversion therapy given to gay men. Joining us from our central London studio is Rachel Barnes, a great niece of Alan Turing. Thank you both very much for your time this morning. Rachel, if I could turn to you first. I mean, obviously many people have signed this open letter. Tell us a little bit about what it means to the family, this campaign.
It means so much to the family of Alan. Obviously it was incredible that Alan Turing was given this royal pardon back in 2013, but we all think it is totally unjust that Alan was the only person to receive this royal pardon when there are an estimated 50,000 gay men who were also prosecuted at the same time. So we really hope that this petition will be successful.
Tommy, can we talk about what men during Alan Turing's time gay men would have been going through?
I think it's very difficult to kind of comprehend how difficult it would have been. There were for gay men during that time. For a start, it was illegal, and it was also classed as a mental illness as well. And there was a huge pressure on gay men to kind of to live a traditional, normal family life, and they were willing to kind of do anything to kind of make themselves heterosexual, make themselves straight. And so a lot of the men were given the option of prison or treatment to be cured, but the majority of men actually put themselves forward for these treatments because they were, like I said, they were willing to do anything to cure themselves, to make themselves heterosexual.
And when we think back about those cures as a term now, they're really barbaric by modern standards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know that Alan Turing was subjected to what was called chemical castration. There were some very nasty side effects to that, which because it gave them it gave them estrogen, and what could happen was that they could develop gynecomastia, which was they would develop breasts. Men would develop breasts as a result of it. So nasty side effects. In terms of the aversion therapy, there was electrical aversion therapy, which involved men sitting on a wooden chair, looking at pictures of men in various states of undress and receiving an electric shock in response to them. And then they would be shown a picture of a female and they wouldn't receive an electric shock.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel, hearing that, it's so shocking that happened at all. And of course, alongside the barbaric nature of those treatments was the stigma that came with it, which of course for Alan Turing was dreadful and effectively led to the end of his life, didn't it?
Yes. I mean, the treatment that Alan Turing received when they found out that he was homosexual is just absolutely incredible. I mean, Alan was a brilliant man and cracked the Enigma code, and it's almost unbelievable that the government only seemed to be interested in prosecuting him because he was gay. And we would be very glad if everybody else would be pardoned as well.
It's not surprising that people are so passionate about this. What do you think? What difference would it make to up to 15,000 men now who were prosecuted at that time, who could get this pardon and an apology as well, which is something completely different?
I think it's hugely important because people will be pardoned and receive an apology for being who they are. They didn't do anything wrong. That was just who they are. And I think it will send out that message, and important for them people. But also it sends out a message. We can go backwards as a society as well as forwards. We look at we're not too bad in the UK, but we look at what's happening internationally in terms of Russia, Uganda, some states in America. We've seen a resurgence of the regressive policies towards homosexuality.
Yes, and Rachel, just on that issue, I know your family has had, if you like, the benefit now of that apology and pardon. How much difference does that make? Because many other families have yet to get to that point.
Well, obviously, our family is absolutely delighted that Alan received this apology and also the royal pardon. But the whole of the family really supports this petition because it is unjust, as I have said, that the other 50,000 have not been given this pardon. So we give our full support and hope that the petition will be successful.
Rachel, thank you very much for your time this morning, and Tommy, thank you very much for joining us in the studio.
It's 9:15. You're watching Breakfast from BBC News. Here are the main stories.